I promise to you, I never touched that Smurf. Between you and me, hello, my beautiful and wonderful movie peeps. So what if they cut me out entirely of my movie, Smurfs? That's right, they shot influencer Smurf, dead on the ground. He's nowhere in the film. I would know because that's how I chose to spend my morning. And the movie was so brilliant, profound, gorgeous. I had to come home and blew myself just to try and understand the complexity of what it is to be a Smurf. And together for the next 2 or 3 hours, I will embody the character of Influencer Smurf and do everything the real Influencer Smurf would do. Cause a controversy, say a couple of Smurfing slurs I shouldn't say, maybe even a visit from a minor. Oh, I'm getting canceled either way after this. Hello and welcome, my beautiful movie peeps. Yeah, your boy saw Smurfs today, and I already sent the footage to the channel editor Reed. I'm hoping he can post it tonight, so we'll see if you'll get my review of Smurfs tonight. But hey, I still got to do the live stream for you, so it is a little later than usual because I was painting myself blue and doing that review. But we've got so much here to talk about here. Oh, he got enlightened. Yes, I have learned the way of Smurf. Can you imagine? What if it actually is? What if we find out Na'vi are real? They exist. They come to live with us. And in like 20, 30 years, I will actually be creating the thing to get myself canceled. You imagine? Chris did Blueface. Are you kidding me? That's Blueface. Everybody was doing it, man. I didn't know. Na'vi, forgive me. Let me touch your tail. You know? You never know. It could happen. The Na'vi. Blueberry. Gotta be a baddie. You look like a Spy Kids character. I look like a blue thumb from that Daddy Smurf. Hey, you heard of Papa Smurf. Say hi to Daddy Smurf. Oh. Smurf aside now. Daddy's here. I'm waiting for... Where's the Goon Smurf? Goon Smurf was taken, unfortunately. I could not be. Can I Smurf you? So yes, you will get all my thoughts on the Smurf movie in my review later. Y'all think I only dress up for movies I'm excited for when they're so awful they change my brain chemistry? I must dress up. I must dress up. Only I will give you that kind of commitment. That's how lost one of my followers thinks I am right now. Jesus loves you. The Smurf life, everything you're doing, the painting yourself blue. Jesus loves you. Jesus has forsaken me. There is only Smurf. It is the true way. Praise Gargamel. Hail Gargamel. I'm taking it way too. I'm getting to that line. I was about to go hail Gargamel. It would have been too much. Would have been too much. I'm getting too close to the influencer Smurf lifestyle, and already someone hand me a camera so I can film a dead body in the woods. That I'm taking it too far. Someone already. I already see it. Chris, no! Chris is dead. I am what remains. Influencer Smurf. By the way, I got the popcorn bucket. This is going to be in the running for movie that popcorn bucket was better than the movie. You open a little door here and, oh, Smurfette's there. How you doing, Smurfette? Nice to see ya. I think it opens from the top. Yeah. And you put in your poppycorn there. I'm going to Smurf this. All right. Cool. The comments here already. The Smurfs changed, bro. He got Smurfed. Smittler? Too much yeah, buddy. I talked about it on SideFlick. You don't watch the videos? I talked about it on SideFlick. Gave you a whole breakdown right there for you. Go check it out. Smurf Wesson, bro, yo, what? Adolf Smittler? Adolf Smurf? Hi. I gotta stop. Enough. Y'all are pushing me. You're encouraging. You're complacent in this cancellation. If I go, everybody in the chat goes. That's why I have you here popped up to the side. Right here? Right here. All the proof that you're going to be taken down with me. Why do I still have Adolf Smittler on the screen? Enough. Okay, let's this is why people are always skipping the beginning of my streams. Okay. I was gonna. My mouse just died. I need to get the other one. One sec. I was gonna go as far as to paint my legs blue, cause I basically got the Smurf outfit right here, all down. I know 3C wearing shorts. That's not the right way. But I could have completed the outfit, but I didn't want to. Hang on. Sorry. Smurf all over me. Shirtless Smurf. Bro is not fully blue. I'd like to do Avatar, but with Smurfs. That's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get a Smurfette. Let me raise up Smurfette. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, let's break down what some of the topics are going to be today. Okay, so some of the things I want to discuss here today as influencer Smurf is one, the death of late night TV. It's just a little topic I kind of want to discuss with you guys. The trailer for the movie Fixed. Netflix, You Owe Me Therapy. We're going to be talking about that. A new Purge movie just got announced. Oh, we definitely needed another one. DREDD, directed by Taika Waiti. Could be interesting or could be a total mess. They just cast Jason Voorhees in the new Friday 13th A24 show. We're going to be looking at that casting. And I believe right now, reactions for the Fantastic Four have actually released online early. So we're going to look at some of those Fantastic Four reactions. James Gunn. Ooh, he did a whole bunch of interviews today, and we got so much information about the DCU, as long as a more clear idea about Superman 2, its sequel, when Batman's coming, whole bunch of that stuff. Influencer Smurf gonna give you the breakdown, and you gotta smurf that like button. Smurf it real good. I hate how shiny the paint is. And it's so wet. My face is itchy, and I want to itch it, but if I do, I just get covered in blue. Bro got smurfed. Hey, buddy, you decided to click on this video. What the heck was wrong with my mouse? Okay, there we go. Look at it. Bro spamming. I see it. You look like an idiot. Quit. Buddy, I'm 30 years old. I Amazon blue paint and a white beanie. And that's how I got paid today. I'm living the dream, buddy. How about you step it up, buddy? You step it up. Influencer Smurf takes no prisoners or pity. Influencer Smurf is proud of the disgusting things he does behind the scenes. Blue man. That's rude. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Film. Thank you, Mr. Film 20. I'm glad. All right, let's continue on before I get too much in trouble. Let's see here. So, the first thing I want to discuss here today, guys, is I don't know if y'all were seeing what is up with this. It's such a faster pace, this mouse. Okay. The first thing I want to discuss here today is I don't know how many of you guys are fans of late night shows, okay? It's just a small topic I want to discuss. But late night shows, they were such a popular thing, and they were ever growing, and everybody has their own late night show host that they love. To me, the one growing up, the late night show host that was always mine was Conan O'Brien. Oh, okay. On TBS, Conan O'Brien was my jam. I thought the guy was so funny. He's honestly what inspires me when I do vlogs. You know, when I go do merch vlogs or do stuff like that out of the house, I take inspiration from what Conan O'Brien does, because whenever he would go out and do fun stuff, I was like, dang, I'd like to do funny things like that. I thought he was great. And they Late Show has been around for a long time, and it's kind of been a staple in the movie world because it's where celebrities would go, they talk. I remember whenever Andrew Garfield was on Jimmy Fallon, and he was only on there. He didn't have a movie, he didn't have anything to promote. He just happened to be on there just to say, I'm not in Spider-Man No Way Home. It's fake. It's fake. And I was like, oh, Andrew, you little liar. Well, lately, we are actually seeing the downfall, the death of late night TV. Today was announced that Stephen Colbert, which isn't a late night show I watch, but I do like Stephen Colbert from the little things I've seen. But he just announced that his show is now ending. Conan O'Brien's show has, sorry, this freaking article. Conan O'Brien's show has like wrapped up a long time ago. And it's made me really start to think about like there's not going to be many late night shows left. Of course we still have the Jimmy Fallon one. We're still probably going to have, I think even Netflix has one with John Mulaney, but I'm so curious how late night shows on streaming services work. Who is tuning into those every night? You still got Jimmy Kimmel and whatnot. And again, I'm not looking at the political side of this because there's a whole political angle of and speculation for why Stephen Colbert's show maybe got canceled because he stood up against Trump and some other stuff. That's not what I want to focus on. What I want to focus on is a media and an art form that is now dying and disappearing. This was honestly a big part of promoting movies, having celebrities come on and all that. And now it's something that's just gone. You know, it's like no one exactly like who even has cable anymore. Exactly. It's like it's disappearing because of streaming services. We talk about, streaming being the death of like movie theaters, but we don't talk about these other outcomes like a late night show. I think about also so many celebrities I like and that I've watched, and you'll hear them in interviews talk about, oh, I was a big fan of this late night show, or I thought this late night show was really funny, and they were super inspired by late night talk show hosts. And there's going to be now a whole generation where that isn't a thing. That's gone. And I do think that's kind of sad, but it also just speaks true to something else that we'll discuss here a little more later today is some people just don't like interviews, man. That's why you have to do like really creative things like hot ones, forcing a celebrity to come on to eat some really spicy wings. Jimmy Fallon was nailing it with all the games. I mean, I remember like years ago, I got on a binge of just watching Jimmy Fallon games with celebrities because those were actually fun. But people don't like to just sit down and hear a celebrity go, oh man, I really got into the role of influencer Smurf. I smurfed so many Smurfs that day, like no one wants to hear that. And so you have to do a lot of this gimmicky stuff. And so one by one, they're going down, they're going away. I was still sad the day Conan's show basically he's got the podcast. I'll tune in every now and then, but it's just not the same. And it's just sad, man. And so this is kind of just where I wanted to toss it off to you guys and what you thought about the late night form basically being a dead program is not really going to be revitalized because of streaming. No one's got cable. It's just sad. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff I like about late night. I understand why it's going away, but it's like, dang, it sucks that now in like, I don't know, 10 years time, could be no more late night show hosts. And it's all just going to be the TikTok celebrity influencer who brought a little mic on a thing going, so do you think Mr. Fantastic is daddy or zaddy? My followers want to know. That's where we're headed in the interview space. And I mean, look at me. I had to dress up like a blue fool just to get y'all to come here. I'm desperate. Desperate. Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, look. Father's calling. Should I dox him like I did last time? Not this time. I still can't believe I did that. I doxed my own father live. If you're here, you knew what happened. If you were here, you knew. All right, let's move on to the next topic at hand. Oh, Nick at Night. Yeah, Nick at Night was a great time. So many shows I would watch through Nick at Night. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to this next atrocious thing. And for this next atrocious thing, I have to remove this so that I can show you. Well, so you can hear the audio of what you're about to witness. It's crazy. So For the longest time, let me see if I can pull it up. 3C Films R-rated animation. I want to know how long ago I made this video, because I made a video talking about an R-rated movie that Sony was working on called Fixed. Here's a YouTube short on it. But even then, okay, here it goes. 5 years ago. Wow. That's how long ago I talked about this movie we're about to look at. 5 years ago. This is what the channel looked like at the time. And I haven't changed, obviously. I have not changed. And in here, they were talking about a movie called Fixed that was going to revolve around a dog, where we would follow the day he was going to get his balls basically cut off. You know, when you go to get a dog fixed so that they can't reproduce. And for years, we're like, where is this movie? Sony announced it's by the same company who did Spider-Verse. Like, let's see more R-rated projects. What's going on there? And well, they dropped the trailer. I am gonna warn you, your life will never be the same. And just like how I turned out after watching Smurfs, you will lose brain cells. You will lose brain cells. So I'm gonna play it in bits. I'm not gonna play it in its entirety, because Sony and Netflix, they'll do that. But it starts off sweet and innocent, right? It's you got a little puppy.
I'd like to introduce you to Bull.
And then, okay, 2 years later, dogs grow up, they change. Cute little puppy. But hey, I got a couple 5, 6. I even got an 8-year-old dog. Love them to death. And well.
Oh, Nana. Oh, you feel so good. All right.
Influencer Smurf approves this movie 10 out of 10. What were they thinking? I can see now why it took 5 years to release this atrocity. I'm gonna hit play on the next couple 5 seconds that I'm allowed to.
Right? Who doesn't love their Nana? Yeah.
Oh Lord. And I love how after that insane scene, Netflix then has the guts to go, yeah, this is where we pop up our logo. This is where we let the world know we approve this message. Nobody else wanted this. They didn't want to release it in theaters, dump it on VOD. We, Netflix, we love our Nana. Let's keep going. I'm trying to pause it right on booty hole. I got it. Oh my God. All right. This is like my biggest problem with these R-rated animated movies. They all either want to be Sausage Party or nothing else, honestly. I'm not even counting animes, because that's been a whole separate art form. Anime is definitely a good example of like adult animation that can be enjoyed, that doesn't just revolve around things. But you know, even animes be having the Master Roshi moments of like staring at Bulma's and then bleeding through them nose. But it's like, I've been begging for more R-rated animated properties to make a splash, but it feels like the only thing Hollywood can come up with is, what if we do Sausage Party, but with little doggies? I think the public would love that. Someone said this stream is getting nuked. I would not doubt it. My TikTok reaction of this got nuked by TikTok. I posted my reaction to this for the first time on TikTok, and I woke up today and it was like, TikTok removed it because it was against community guidelines. I was like, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Influencer Smurf has done goofed again. And man, it just gets worse. And it has like a decent voice cast, like, again. So Sony Animation, and you have Idris Elba voicing this dog.
And sucked every bit of fun out of those balls.
Oh, this line was crazy, man. This line was like, what?
Before you lose them.
We're all gonna suck your balls. What?
I'm laughing not at the actual context of the joke. I'm laughing that they thought this was funny, because that's also the problem with this Fixed trailer. It's painfully unfunny. It's such lowbrow, simple humor saying the words, we're all gonna suck your balls. What are we doing here? We couldn't have thought of something more clever, humping little grandma at the beginning. Like, there's gotta be a little, I already see the cinema. actual cinema. So it's imagine joining the stream and paused on the frame of the hole. And it's so much for them if they just click on stream and they see dog butthole influencer Smurf. What am I doing with my life? I'm asking myself that question right now. So there's that. And then, oh man, I don't even want to play too long. There's a scene where they're like going after squirrels, and you know dogs go after them squirrels, and they actually just rip apart. That's actually kind of funny because it's unexpected, and at least it's not none of that gross humor or sexual humor. But dude, then you have like a whole scene of just like little doggies basically being strippers.
Here's a dose to the backside.
I'm not even going on after that. That's for who? Someone had to animate this. Someone avoided their family, gave up their weekends, decided Christmas, Thanksgiving, all that is not necessary because I got a little poodle grinding on a boot I need to animate. We need to find that guy. And I think we need to like make him look at a corner. I'm not going to say go to jail. It's his job. He was forced to, but he should be like staring at a wall for at least a day, considering his actions. That's me. So I cannot believe it. This was a movie I was actually champion and watching like, oh, it could be fun, guys. That's an interesting premise. A dog, you know, he's going to lose his balls, so he's got to go do fun stuff. I did not expect it to be this lowbrow, this disgusting, where the last joke is literally an owner grabbing the dog by its wiener. Again, I made a video talking about this movie being a thing 5 years ago, and it's taken 5 years for somebody just to finally release it and put it out there. I'm not guaranteeing you I'm reviewing this or making it on the channel because like the chat is saying, it's gonna get nuked. And I'm also feel bad because like this is actually a creator I don't mind. I can never pronounce his name, Gendy Travasky. Because he's done a lot of my favorite shows. Dude, I love Samurai Jack. I'm waiting for the day someone picks up Samurai Jack and makes a live action movie. That is an awesome premise for a movie. A samurai from the past thrust into the future and all that. Oh, so cool. Dexter's Laboratory, big fan of that. Hotel Transylvania is fine and whatnot. Primal is cool. So I don't know. I just ended up being disappointed, very much disgusted, so grossed out by this. I wish we could lean more into R-rated animation that didn't rely on sexual humor. I wish it was more like just the violence or just adult themes that like, it doesn't even have to be so heavy into it. You can make a PG-13 animated movie because most animated films are PG. I think even the Spider-Verse movies, for having like a gun and some sort of like serious tone and violence, they're still PG movies. Make a PG-13 one where you can get away with a little bit more. I don't know. That's just me. So keep it. So oh my god, dude. Yeah, I'm not reading that out loud, but y'all can read that on screen right now. And this is how we should definitely move on to the next topic. Influencer Smurf apologizes. Not for what he shows, but for the fact he was caught. It's the only thing I'm ashamed of. Okay, let's move on to the next topics, guys. The new Purge movie. Okay, so the Purge films, they are still going strong. I think it's so funny. That's like Blumhouse's bread and butter in a way. How many of these Purge movies are there even of? I think there's like 7, 6 in total. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we have 5. So these are the Purge movies we've gotten so far. The Purge, Purge Anarchy, Purge Election Year, First Purge, and the Forever Purge. And they were marketing the Forever Purge like it was the final Purge movie. Like it was going to end here. And even Jason Blum was talking about the movies are starting to get too expensive to make, that he doesn't feel like they can stay within the budget that they're supposed to be. Well, today we got an update. Let me see if I can find it. Purge. Let's see. Bloody. Disgusting. Man, this paint is starting to run into my eyeballs, and I'm going to go blind by the end of the stream. Bloody Disgusting here has it. New Purge film in the works from franchise creator James DeMonico. exclusive. So he has it here. I just finished a script. My producer Sebastian has read multiple drafts, given me notes. We just have to hand it to Jason Blum. I'm really happy with it. They like it. I think it's cool and fun. We're hoping next year would be great to shoot it. Maybe the end of this year if timing works out. But now it's the power that be, so we'll have to see and wait. He also mentioned that people's favorite character might be making a comeback, which I assume, yeah, is Frank Grillo, which he's basically plays the Punisher in these movies, where he's just a guy on Purge night, either helping or killing some people. He's honestly the funnest part of those movies. And even before Annabelle, even before Megan switched genres, I felt like the Purge movies were kind of doing that, where they went from a home invasion horror movie with the first to then kind of action adventure movies with some horrific elements. You know, I feel like they became more action movies than horror movies as the series went on. But hey, Megan went full throttle with that. The idea I think they have to go with this time around is what the last movie has set up. Because if you remember, at the end of the Forever Purge, which super ironic in the times we live in, at the end of the Forever Purge, we have characters that are fleeing from America and going to Mexico for freedom. Don't say the Purge movies are slop. Don't say the Purge movies aren't a commentary on our world today. They left the States for Mexico. Oh, and I think they even had a scene in there where the Mexicans got to go, hey, don't come to our country. I was like, God damn. Jason Blum, you mad genius. You have done it again. But joking aside, the reason they were fleeing is because they had like banned the Purge, and the world was up, and the US was like mad about that, so they started looting, going crazy. Basically, they ended the movie with setting up it's now the Purge all the time, forever, 24/7, all in the US. And I was like, that's not a bad idea. It's like it's almost like it went Planet of the Apes, where it's Purge everywhere nonstop, so it's just a post-apocalyptic. You go Mad Max with it, just different gangs and whatnot. The only other problem I've had with the Purge movies is that they only ever do the same two crimes: murder and touching people inappropriately. You know what I want to say, but I can't say it because this stream is going to get nuked enough. That's like the only two things they ever do. I'm like, why isn't somebody performing a bank heist on Purge night, right? Why isn't somebody doing something that is illegal but is not that crazy? Like, I don't know, what's something illegal but like running red lights? Why can't we follow the guy who runs red lights, goes to Walmart and just buys a Nintendo Switch 2, not buys, just takes a Nintendo Switch 2? You know, it's like, I wish the movies would have leaned in a little more into that, as just doing non-crazy crimes and just having fun with it. Because I think if the Purge was real, we would have 1 year that was kind of cool. You know what? Call me crazy. If we had the Purge the first year, would actually be kind of chill. I think we'd be going into Walmart's, grabbing what we want, having a little drink, like, hey, what's up? And then it'd be that one guy, and his name is usually Tony, that just stabs Eric in the back, and we're all like, oh my God, we just wanted free Nintendos, dude. What are you doing? Hey, everything's legal. Why aren't you doing this? And then it would snowball from there, you know? But I think for the first, like, 2 hours, Purge night would actually be pretty heavenly. It would be pretty heavenly. I don't know. So, I'm down for this. I'm curious if that's the route they go with. Maybe it'll be another prequel situation like the first Purge, where I honestly think that was the worst one out of all of them. I can't remember a lot of them. They kind of blend together, especially the ones with Frank Grillo. But I think first Purge was the one I just didn't like all that much. It was just so bland. I like the idea of showing us what the first Purge looked like, but it was just like all the other Purges. You know, it's like I wish they would have done that first guy who thinks like the Purge is a trap to get you to go to jail, where he like walks out his house. He's like, no way, everything's legal. And then I don't know, he like pushes an old lady and he's like, oh my God, I'm okay. Oh, you know, I would have liked to seen that as the first Purge movie. Just a thought, pushing old ladies. That's what I do on Purge night. Influencer Smurf. But yeah, I agree. Also, people say we've been through enough Purges, Chris. Yeah, if they didn't make this and it didn't happen, also totally fine. I think the movies we got are all the Purge movies we need. But if they're gonna make another one, and I, as a reviewer of movies, have to sit down and watch it, I'd at least like them to do something fun. And I think the post-apocalyptic Purge 24/7 idea could be cool because, hey, maybe they've been doing it for 10 years. I'd like to see what 10 years of nonstop purging would look like. Maybe it's a wonderful land. You never know. Okay. Let's move on to the next topic at hand. DREDD. Oh, Judge DREDD. Okay, so I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with the Judge DREDD character. There's been a couple of movie adaptations over the years. He's a comic book character. I'm also kind of a casual fan. This is Carl Urban under the mask too. So Billy Butcher, Johnny Cage. Oi, Huey, I'm gonna execute you. I did a pretty good job with that. And it's basically a future where cops are given like these basically judge, jury, and executioner. It's like one man right there can decide your fate based on whether you stole a Snickers bar or you pushed an old lady, right? I'm pushing a lot of old ladies today. But I was like, it's always a cool idea. And the Sylvester Stallone movie got it pretty wrong because one of the things that DREDD is known for is he never takes off his mask, and Sylvester Stallone took off his mask for a lot of that movie. And then we got the Carl Urban version that was a lot more faithful. That was also a pretty cool movie. Just him in this high-rise building, almost raid style, having to go through different floors and accomplish his mission. I'm still so mad we never got a sequel to it because this was actually a pretty fun version of DREDD, but it didn't get the love and attention they needed. Well, now they've announced a new reboot and a new start with Taika Waititi. They have it here, Taika Waititi tackling Judge DREDD movie in hot package hitting Hollywood exclusive. Maybe they actually have a rough summary of what DREDD is. That way I can give you guys an idea because maybe I didn't do it right. Okay. He is a police. Oh, okay. I knew I shouldn't have done that. All right. He is a police officer in the bleak future metropolis of Mega City 1, part of the law enforcement corps that empowers officers to be judge, jury, and executioner. The character and his stories were a satire of the judicial system to the extreme. DREDD proved hugely popular, endangering I'm stopping there because I'm already stuttering on my reading. That's embarrassing enough. Anyways, that's the basic gist of it. And now, okay, Taika Waititi. The main focus I want to discuss here. Taika Waititi has definitely gotten a bad rap ever since Thor: Love and Thunder, and I don't blame it. That is my least favorite Marvel movie. I don't like that. When I'm rewatching the MCU with my future child, I'm hitting play on Thor: Love and Thunder, and I'm gonna go mow the lawn, and I'm gonna tell him, son, tell me when this garbage is finished. Everything else, I'll sit through. Thor: The Dark World, Ant-Man: Quantumania, I'll sit through it, okay? But with that, I really thought Taika Waititi dropped the ball. But even with that, I still think he is a competent director. I just think he went full to swing into his jokey vibe with Thor that it did really hinder the character. I still think back to some of his earlier movies that he's done. Let me see if I can actually pull some of those up. And like films like Jojo Rabbit that still have the humor where he portrays Hitler. That takes a lot of guts to be Hitler in your own movie, but it was actually a pretty great film, Jojo Rabbit. And this is the one I liked, Hunt for the Wilder People, What We Do in the Shadows. I think he still has it in him, and I think Thor: Love and Thunder was probably a bit of a wake-up call that you got to balance the humor. You got to know when to use it. You can't rely on it too much. You lean too far into it, you're really going to detach your audience. Judge Dredd, I think, is a character that you need to go a little bit more serious with. The humor can be there, not from Dredd himself. I think that's where you have like a secondary or a supporting character. But this is still just such a cool idea, man, and it's still such a kind of relevant topic because, like you guys saw when I was reading it, I thought Jojo Rabbit was good. I don't know about you. I thought Jojo Rabbit was. What's the Rotten Tomato score on that? We'll settle that right here, right now, buddy. Maybe you're right. I thought it was actually really good. 81, and 94. So you in the minority, buddy. You're a minor. Influencer Smurf intrigued. So with that, I think Taika Waititi could probably do a good job. I do think his action set pieces in Thor were pretty cool. It's just a lot of that bogged down humor I don't like. I'm willing to give it a shot. I was honestly even interested when he was in talks to do the Akira movie. He was supposed to do an Akira film, and that didn't end up happening. It looks like the studio that had the rights that lost it, so now he's moved on to this. But there's also been a lot of Taika Waititi projects announced that don't end up happening. You have the Star Wars one that I think is still probably not happening. That Akira one, you have this one now. He's definitely not coming back for Thor 5 if they're going to be doing that. So, yeah, you guys let me know. I think Taika Waititi, I'm willing to give him one more shot, but I will say if he fumbles this one, I think that's where I cut my loose ends. But I still think he has it in him. There was slivers of things I saw in Jojo Rabbit and his other works where I'm like, he can handle good emotion, great balance of jokes. He just, I think, got too full of himself in Thor Love and Thunder. So yeah. Let's move on now to talk about some Jason Voorhees. So as we know, the Jason universe is chuckling along really strong. San Diego Comic-Con is right around the corner, and we're going to get some more information about what's going on in the world. I'm still curious because the official account tagged Blumhouse and James Wan's company of Atomic Monster. So I'm like, we don't know if anything Blumhouse and Atomic Monster are doing with Freddy. Are they about to announce a movie deal? That would be really cool, but we'll have to wait and see. But it's also been a lot of disappointment, a lot of commercial, a lot of merchandising, a lot of branding. But the one thing that is for sure and that is coming is the A24 show. That's coming up, where it's going to be a prequel series following Pamela Voorhees, the mom of Jason, titled Crystal Lake, starring Linda Cardellini, our Velma from Scooby-Doo. And, well, they also now have cast who is going to be playing Jason Voorhees, and it's little Callum Vinson. Some of you might be familiar with little Callum Vinson. He was also in the Chucky TV series. Let me see if I can pull him up. He was in the most recent season where he's the little creepy kid talking to Chucky and no one believes him. He's like, "What? Who killed the babysitter?" "Chucky did it." "Now, don't go telling lies. If you killed the babysitter, you need to tell us the truth." "I am telling the truth. It was Chucky." "Oh, Jimmy." You know, that kind of runaround. You're familiar with it. And honestly, kid's a little good actor. He's good. But for the role of Jason Voorhees, this is what I'm curious about. Okay, yeah, so Jason Voorhees is going to be a kid. See, I already see the complaints in the chat here. Is that little baby Jason Voorhees kid. But we kind of figured this is the route they were going to go with whenever they announced the prequel, because Linda Cardellini's playing a younger Pamela Voorhees. And so, okay, look, I'm down for this depending how long you want to keep Jason a kid. If they want to do one season leading up to his origin, and by season 2 we time jump and he's older now and we have the Jason with the hockey mask, okay, cool. If you're trying to have little kid Jason for 3 seasons, I'm sorry, chef, take it back. I don't want it. I don't want it. Take it back and feed it to the chef. I just think there's so much of little Jason we can take. And the other thing is, although I was mentioning the kid's a good actor, I feel like he was doing a great job in it, and I'm curious to see how it goes. How do they plan to portray Jason? Because Jason is a deformed child. He has horrible deformities, and it's also one of the reasons he gets bullied and mistreated. The moms eventually got to enlist him into a summer camp, and then kids got to drown him. How much into that sympathizing deformed angle are they going to play into? Because that's also something I don't want too much of. Is Jason just going to be that misunderstood kid that if he wasn't bullied, he'd be just fine? Or was he always pure evil from the start? Did Pamela kind of sway him into that way? What about his father? Where he at in the picture? There's a lot of questions. I am curious, and I think one whole season could actually give you a meaningful enough story where I'm down for that, especially if it ends with the with the death of little baby Jason and drowning. That would just be a crazy way to go with it, especially if they recreate that moment where little baby comes out from the water and pulls the girl down. Yeah, I want to see that, especially I want to see some more murdering, dude. How much murdering gonna go happen? Say what you want about the Chucky TV series. I was very critical about the Chucky TV series because it ended up leaning more into that Seed of Chucky route where it got very goofy and funny. But at least there, every episode of the Chucky TV series, somebody died or a bloody thing happened. And dude, that's an achievement. To have every episode Chucky kill somebody, that's pretty cool. And I don't think a lot of shows could pull that off. I don't know if Friday the 13th will be able to do that. I think they're 3 people a season probably, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be wrong. So I'm fine with this. I'm okay as long as it's just one season. I hope by season 2, season 3, we can get adult Jason. We can start leaning into more of that stuff, and he can take over the show. That was kind of the idea they were going with before they fired the previous showrunner. Is like each season was almost going to be a recreation of the old movies. I actually think that'd be a really cool idea, but there's no hint to whether that's actually what they're doing this time around. So we'll see. All we know is kids getting drowned, and just like Sonic fans, when a character gets shot, we're clapping. As soon as this kid hits drowns and he's, help me, I'm going, yeah, go Jason, take in that water, woo. You got to, right? Someone said, why are you blue? Why are you not? Free will is a thing. You can go green. I'm not going to stop you. I'm blue because I choose to be. Okay. Little bro going to die. I know little bro is going to die. All right, let's move on. So yeah, Jason cast, I think that's cool. I think that's awesome. Let's move on from there. Okay, so I was seeing people say that Fantastic Four reactions are gonna be released tonight. Oh, let me bookmark that because I'm gonna want to show that later. So let's actually see if they actually have. Oh, okay, perfect. All right, so Fantastic Four reactions are now here online. Interesting because I was looking at my email for the Fantastic Four. I watched the movie on Monday, and that same night, or actually no, the next day, because I see it the 21st, and on Tuesday is when the social and review embargo is going to go up. But today, a bunch of people got to see Fantastic Four, and I guess Marvel was feeling confident with the way that room was, that they're like, actually, let's let the embargo lift tonight. So let's look at some of these reviews. Okay, so this is me looking at them for the first time. Andrew, who works with Discussing Film, says, A Fantastic Four is a story about family, above all else, where each member of the team is equally important. No one is underserved. The movie excels when fleshing out the various bonds between Pedro, Vanessa, Eben, and Joseph. The retro 60s aesthetic works on all fronts. Oh, that's good to hear. I love the idea of the 60s aesthetic. Let me see about what other people are saying. Okay, Brandon Davis here, who used to work for Comic Book Movie, says, First Steps is visually one of the best things Marvel has ever made. Parts feel like Interstellar and demand IMAX. Woo, okay. Galactus is awesome. Silver Surfer looks really, really good. VFX were often immaculate. I do like to hear that. I know people were complaining about the Fantastic Four, all the little trailers and stuff they've been showing, especially those shots where Galactus is so huge and the Fantastic Four is small. Those look like great shots. They're going to look good on screen. Cosmically and on Earth, Matt Shockman dropped a visual feast. Ooh, that's good to hear. Another review here says, Fantastic Four is an incredible movie. The first 60 minutes are fantastic. Say that again. But in general, the whole movie is honestly magical. If you go into the movie with your expectations high, prepare your mind to still be blown. It's that good. Also, stay around for the end credits. Oh, what that end credits gonna be, buddy, oh boy. Wow, that's some high praise. And you know, we always have to take it with a grain of salt. You know, and I know it's not that comparable, but I remember right before I saw the latest horror movie that came out this weekend, I Know What You Did Last Summer, I was seeing nothing but super positive reviews, how it was the best legacy sequel, it was awesome, this and that. So I went in thinking, oh, I'm gonna have a good time, and I came out really mixed on the movie, and I was like, this is not the best legacy sequel. So we do have to take these with a grain of salt, but I think saying a phrase like that with, even if you're going in with expectations high, your mind is still gonna be blown? Oh, okay. All right, that's good to hear. I'm trying to find a negative one. If you guys do find a negative review, tag me on @3C Film. This whatchamacallit. Let me just pull it up. It's the backup account. It's the one I use for when I'm streaming. So there we go. It's right there. Tag me there if you find a negative one, because I would like to read at least a negative review to be balanced. My Fantastic Four review. It's purposely grade A entertainment, fluent in political theory and cinema history, sexy and provocative, tight as a drum, and thrillingly tactical. Bring the tissues, but not because you're going to cry. Whoa, what the heck? What? We got Gooner Smurf in the chat. Don't tell me this is one of them fake reviews. This better be a real review. If you ever fall for a woman, make sure she's got balls. Okay. I don't know if this one's real or not, guys, but sounds like you're gonna be gooning to Fantastic Four. So let me keep going. I have seen Fantastic Four. The main four were excellently cast and radiate chemistry. Their interactions are just as exciting as any action scene. Galactus and Silver Surfer are incredibly realized and bring serious stakes. Something's missing from recent MCU movies. A treat. Okay. And you know, that probably is because it's set on a different world. I still wonder if their universe is going to be blown up and if Galactus actually wins. I feel like that's kind of what has to happen for them to go to the MCU in that post-credit scene in Thunderbolts. But I think that's going to help with the stakes in this movie, that if they actually lose or if they fail, because this is an expendable world. We got the MCU over here. This planet can wither away, and that's fine. So I wonder if that plays into that. Let me go into a little more. Let me see if, oh god, join the stream and all that. Okay, just making sure, seeing if anybody tag me in a negative review. Let me see one more. I came in tempted, but fantastic. I came in tempered, but Fantastic Four is truly a return to form for the MCU. The opening minutes blew my socks off in IMAX. Gardner and Quinn's work stand out to me the most. Galactus gives the film real stakes. Oh, there's that word again. And has presence, is felt even off screen. Incredible miniature work. Woo! All right, man. That is nice to hear, and the miniature work is awesome. They released like some footage of Galactus today with all the little details and they have a physical suit. Galactus is not entirely CGI. They actually fed a guy a Mario mushroom and he grew 300 feet in the air. It's crazy. No, they use miniatures, but that I think is going to help with the look of the film, and I do think it's honestly sounding like it might be better than Superman. Well, it's not a competition. Superhero movies is winning is good, but I do wonder how I feel with it. No, that's someone else regurgitating. All right, let's read after 40 minutes. No, let's see this one. Trying to find one more review just to kind of cut 30 minutes. First Fantastic Four reviews. Here's some ones. Let me go to Matt. Matt's pretty critical sometimes of the MCU in a good way. So it's always good to hear someone else's perspective that isn't a super Marvel fanboy. Okay. Many will say the Fantastic Four First Steps is fantastic, and they'll be right for several reasons. The four main cast members are excellent. Michael Giaccone's lively score is instantly memorable, and the 60s retro-futuristic production design, dynamic visual effects are a delightful treat rather than an eyesore. The story focuses on the theme of family and can feel a bit overdone at the point in the MCU, and the villains aren't the most compelling, but the cast does a lot of heavy lifting to make you deeply care about these characters, their relationship, and the end-of-the-world stakes they face. Combined with Matt Schuckman's snappy, confident storytelling, this is an intriguing and satisfying first steps for Marvel's new team, easily the best depiction of them on screen as the MCU continues to regain control of this ship and steer it closer to Doomsday. Okay! So, like I said, this is someone that I know is usually critical and honest about their thoughts. They're not a Marvel fanboy, and they were like, some things feel overdone. Villains aren't that memorable, but dude, the cast is great. This is easily the best Fantastic Four movie. Oh, this sounds like a good old buddy, old boy time. I am happy to hear with these reactions. Hopefully it's that good. I think it is if they were willing to lift the embargo this early. So let me just take one more look to see if anyone found like a... This is loved it, liked it. Yeah, no, that was a positive review. We already was delayed again, but it's a bubblegum. No, that's old. Okay. So yeah, I think this is a good sign. I like these early reactions. What do you guys think? Are you looking forward to it? I mean, in where this ranked, it was Superman for me in excitement, Fantastic Four, and Jurassic World Rebirth. So far, I like Superman more than Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm curious how I'm going to feel about Fantastic Four. It also feels like such a different movie. I like the retro aesthetic, but I wonder if there's going to be things about this that I just feel like it's going to be so much better. Okay, someone just said that they tagged me. Let me see. You might have tagged me in my other account, buddy. So let me just look at that account real quick. It's funny, with my blue face, my phone cannot read me. My phone is like, who is this? Who are you? No, I don't see anything. I don't see anything, my friend. All right. So you guys let me know what you think then about these Fantastic Four reactions. And does it make you excited for the movie? Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. let's see here. James Gunn. Ooh, we got a lot to talk about with James Gunn. Okay, so Superman has come out. It's still killing it at the box office, at least domestically. Internationally, it is struggling. But domestically, it's breaking all sorts of records. And with that, I'm like, all right, well, then we're for sure getting more of this Man of Steel, and the DCU is continuing strong. And James Gunn was doing some recent interviews where he was enlightening us about certain things, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to pull up one of the interviews where he shares a lot of tidbits about what we can expect now from this new DCU, and apologies for that being the title starter. But let's go to Josh Horowitz, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Horowitz? James Gunn. Great interviewer. Been watching him for such a long time. He actually does a good job. Okay. And there are timestamps in this. Oh, let me go
Almost anything is possible these days.
Whatchamacallit, Clips channel here so we can get going on that. That way we don't have to deal with no ads in between stuff.
There are some really interesting parallels
cool.
that the Superman's journey in this film.
And yeah, there's a lot of timestamps here. So let's start off with the Superman 2 stuff that James Gunn reveals. So one of the things that we have been knowing about Superman is James Gunn, and during a lot of these interviews, has been saying he is currently writing a script for a new Superman project. He's iffy on whether to call it Superman 2, but he won't say anything else from that. And even David Cornsweet isn't aware what the project is. He just knows it involves Superman. And well, in this interview, he gets asked point blank, what is it? What's going on? What's happening? So let's actually get to talking about that next Superman project. Thank you, Josh. Oh, I'm not even on the right page. My bad.
Not exactly.
Totally fair enough.
Superman involved story.
Yes.
Fair enough to say.
Totally fair enough to say.
You have been cagey though in saying it's
I'm
not
being very cagey.
not exactly a Superman sequel per se. Here's what okay, from the fan perspective, one of the regrets around post-Man of Steel was we never got like another Superman adventure.
Yes.
Right? We never got, Henry didn't get his shot in another Superman movie.
Yes, yeah.
So make me feel better. Like
it's Superman's very important. It's not like, and it isn't Batman versus Superman. It isn't.
Okay. It's not world's finest Batman, Superman. Okay. Okay.
Okay, so we'll pause right there to talk about this. Okay, so it's still not a reveal of what the project is, and even continuing on here, James Gunn does say we will find out very soon, whether that's at San Diego Comic-Con coming up in the next couple of weeks, where he is going to be there for a panel for Peacemaker, but they said they're only talking Peacemaker. We'll see if that's true. I think they just didn't want to have expectations in case Superman was not well reviewed, got terrible box office, and they don't have to commit to announcing DCU projects at San Diego Comic-Con. But now with all the good buzz, I think James Gunn will be more open to announcing stuff at Comic-Con. Either way, we're going to know soon. And all right, he says here, this is what's been interesting for me, because if you see his reaction, whenever he gets asked, is it Superman 2? Are you making a Superman 2? He always says, define Superman 2, or what do you mean? Which made it sound like it is a story that'll involve Superman, but it's not exactly like a direct sequel. It could be a team-up movie with Batman and Superman, or it could be Superman and Supergirl, or it could be a Justice League movie, right? Where Superman could be the main character and it'll continue his story, but we're not titling it Superman 2. Here, though, he seems more open to actually calling it Superman 2.
Story.
Yes.
Fair enough to say.
Totally fair enough to say.
You have been cagey though in saying it's
I'm
not
being very cagey.
not exactly a Superman sequel per se.
Right there. Okay, so that to me lets me know this actually might be Superman 2. Him going, feels like he hasn't made up his mind on whether to title it Superman and Supergirl or Superman The Quest for Peace, or, whatever, some bogus title, and actually make it Superman 2. That seems a little bit more like, this is Superman 2. He just doesn't want to call it that right now. Now, the other thing we get debunked is it's not a Batman and Superman movie, okay? He says here it's not Batman versus Superman. I know people have been reading into the part where he goes, but it's not World's Finest, and he doesn't exactly clarify, but he does shake his head, no, it's not World's Finest. So look.
Superman is very important. It's not like, and it isn't Batman versus Superman. It isn't.
Okay. It's not world's finest Batman, Superman. Okay.
See, he shook his head. He asked him, is it World's Finest? And James Gunn goes, so it looks like it's not going to be that, and it's not like James Gunn being cheeky saying it's not Batman versus Superman, because it's actually Batman and Superman teaming up, not fighting. So, all right, that's fine with me. As long as we're getting more David Cornsweet Superman, because I really do like him, and I think one of the best parts of his Superman movie was seeing just how different of a superhero he is compared to his other hero counterparts, you know, like saving the squirrel, Mr. Terrific rolling his eyes when like he wanted to save the kaiju and whatnot. Like those are things that actually make Superman very pleasant in my view of the movie. Okay, so all right, what could it be then? If it's not a Batman and Superman movie, I think it's got to be the Superman and Supergirl film. I feel like that would make sense, and I do like the theories that it would involve Brainiac. Even in this same interview, James Gunn did admit before he decided on the villains for this movie, he was considering Brainiac as the villain for this film, but then he changed his mind. So, I mean, if he was already considering it, then why not have that be the villain for this movie? So I was like, okay, Brainiac maybe caused the death of Krypton, and the last survivors could be wanting to fight back. I do like that idea. I think that's where they could go. People are saying a crypto movie. Please, bro, don't tell me it's a crypto movie. I will not be able to defend if it's just a crypto movie. But I think it's interesting. There was even other parts of this interview where he was talking about with Superman that I find so funny. So he like talks about the message about the parents, which has been a very debated thing about the Superman film, because the movie's been out now. Hopefully you're okay, but if not, spoilers, I guess, for Superman. But the big thing, and here, I'm going to give you a little time in case you got to go. One of the big things that this movie ends up revealing is that Superman's parents, Jor and Lar-El, they are evil. They sent Superman to Earth so that he can repopulate Krypton, rule over it, and kill anybody who doesn't believe in his way. And James Gunn actually addresses this a little bit, because fans are wondering, oh, is that message fake? Did Brainiac mess with it? Is that actually General Zod and not Bradley Cooper is General Zod and not Jor-El, and he faked that message and whatnot? And you can see James Gunn actually gets kind of annoyed that people think the message is fake.
Has it been doctored? Is that the actual
How
message?
can someone not think it's real?
I'm just saying.
How can someone? I don't understand. Like, we did this. So in the test screens, people were like, is it real? You know, with AI, nobody trusts anything.
And then he goes on to explain all the different things in the movie that made it real. But it's funny that like you could see he's annoyed because he's seen all the reactions of people wondering, is that message real? Are they going to backtrack it? Is it that? Because I like the movie. Even one of my nitpicks was I don't think they made it 100% clear that the message was real. There was still doubts in my mind in all the different information they gave to say it was real. Whatever, though. He says here, even in the test screenings, they asked him, is that message real? But the interviewer, Josh, does ask him, is that something that will come back? Is that something that we're going to explore more? And James Gunn kind of dances around it, but he also says, he also basically insinuates he hasn't made up his mind, so it could be something that's explored further, or it's just one and done there in Superman, and it's not really something we'll touch upon again. I found that interesting that he brought that up, but it looks like that message is real. It's there to stay for now. Whether he goes back on it or explores it further, we'll see. But as of right now, James Gunn is annoyed that people doesn't think it's real. Another thing with Henry Cavill that I definitely wanted to bring up before we get to updates on other projects in the DCU. This was an interesting insight because James Gunn here talks about the day he got hired to be the head of this DC Studios was also the same day Henry Cavill was like, I'm coming back as Man of Steel. And he's like, what? Here.
I just want to get my timeline down right, because I was somewhat in the middle of this in a weird way, because I talked to Henry Cavill in the middle of when Black Adam's coming out.
Oh, good God.
Yeah. And we love Henry, of course. And
yes, he's the sweetest guy.
Sweet guy. Love him. And he has the cameo at the end. We had a big moment on stage where he thought he was coming back. We all thought he was coming back, but maybe unbeknownst to him or not, you're already writing a Superman movie, which is clearly for a younger actor. Then soon thereafter, you get the gig as the head of DCU, correct? I have this roughly right?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, correct.
So then at a certain point, you and Peter have to have that unfortunate phone call, I would imagine.
No, we sat down with him. We sat down with Henry.
So without revealing too much, I mean, what is that like to have to be the guy to tell Superman, thank you for your time, we have to go a different way now?
It's terrible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but believe it or not, I was the day we, so we were dealing with trying to figure out if we could take the job at DC Studios.
Yeah.
And we're talking to David Zaslav and all the legal people there and figuring out what our deals would be. And the day our deal closed, all of a sudden they were announcing that, that Henry was back. And I'm like, what is going on? We know what the plan is. Like
So I definitely wanted to bring that up because I remember everybody blamed James Gunn for firing Henry Cavill. Everybody blamed James Gunn for how dirty he was done. Because I remember I reported on it. I made videos. Henry Cavill made a video on his phone going, "It's good to be back. We're gonna do it great. I can't do a British accent. That's the best I can do." And so it's saddened, and people were like, "Oh, he fired him. He did him dirty. He should have kept him going." But oh, dude, Warner Brothers was being dirty with James and Henry. The day they were signing on James was the same day they were telling Henry, "Hey, make that announcement that you're coming back." And it sucks. And he even kind of throws a little shade. He doesn't specifically say The Rock, but he does say that, people in WB were trying to strong arm their way into the universe and do all this kind of stuff. And he just barely got hired on and now has to be the one to tell Henry Cavill, "Hey, you're not coming back. We have a different plan. Sorry that they did that." And he does mention he is open and wanting to bring Henry Cavill for a different role in the DCU, and they even talked about what that role would be the day he let him know that he wasn't coming back. So Henry Cavill could be coming back in the DCU, but this should just let you know, dude, the powers at Warner Brothers were just doing dirty things behind the back and making everybody look bad. Let me see if there's one more thing. And then I'm just getting on to the actual Superman reviews. No, I think that's a Superman reviews. Other updates in the DCU. Okay, so I think that's where we'll have that. So now we could talk about a lot of other things in the DCU. So there's been some really interesting things that James Gunn has been saying in this interview. So now that we know things are headed good, that we're probably going to end up getting more movies, more characters, all this kind of stuff. Oh, geez. James Gunn has been revealing some stuff about what we can expect in the next couple projects. So let me see if I can actually pull up some of those things. James Gunn. And that way we can go through them one by one. Okay, so we talked about that. Okay, this one I found interesting. So again, James Gunn again confirms that DCU Batman will not be Robert Pattinson. He says that Batman Brave and the Bold and any additional DCU Batmans will not release the same calendar year as the movies. That's something we were curious about because we were hearing that, I'm still wondering if they're going to merge them, but whatever. James Gunn has confirmed it enough where I shouldn't even be speculating on that. But what I was worried about is he said, "I'm going to be getting the script for Matt Reeves' universe and the DCU Batman at the same time." So I'm like, so that means you're making the movies at the same time, filming them at the same time. Are they going to release the same year? What's up with that? And he confirms in this interview they would not be released. So if we have Matt Reeves' The Batman coming out in 2027, then I think the earliest we could get DCU Batman is 2028, if not 2029, because who knows if they want them to come out back to back, year to year. That's good to know. I guess it sounds like common sense, but if you really think about it, is it common sense to have two current running Batmans in different universes kind of competing each other with the public? I don't think so, and that's always been my argument of why I think they'll combine the universe. Not because I want it to happen, but just from a business sense, I feel like that makes the most sense. But okay, so we would have the Batman 2027, and it's that crazy thing where I said you could go and buy a ticket for the Batman Part 2, and one of the trailers they will play will be the trailer for DCU Batman. Mind-blowing that that's where we're at. Okay, so he confirms that. He also does talk about the Alan Ritchson fan casting. I don't know if this will actually help or be against what some people think, but James Gunn says, let's see here. I'm trying to find the exact quote. I think it's right here. All right, he's James Gunn on Alan Ritchson as Batman fan cast. I am a big fan of Alan Ritchson, both as an actor and as a guy. Let's just wait and see what happens. I don't think it will be Alan Ritchson, but that has been a big fan casting. I'm still on the Jake Gyllenhaal train. Jake Gyllenhaal will probably be it. the last big thing, Batman, before we get to other things, is that James Gunn will not say if Brave and the Bold will be the introduction for Batman. So he basically meaning, yeah, here he says, is the Brave and the Bold when you think we'll see the DCU Batman for the first time? James Gunn, I'm not going to say that, which I think is interesting. Because where would he pop up? People already want to bring up the Clayface movie. As people say, Jake Gyllenhaal, calm down, buddy. No, Jake Gyllenhaal would kill it. Jake Gyllenhaal's got the acting techniques, buddy. But all right. But what was I saying here? Oh, so with this, okay, then where would he show up? I know people were saying the Clayface movie. I don't think we're going to get much Batman in there. Based on the details and the things I'm seeing with Clayface, even James Gunn in this interview, he compares the Clayface movie to being like a Blumhouse movie, where it's just like a kind of straight up horror movie with just minor connections to Batman. So I don't think that movie would end with Batman showing up, being his big introduction, because one, it's also going to be a rated R movie, that Clayface film. That would be the weirdest way to introduce your new big Batman. You have to introduce him making a splash. I'm thinking it's maybe going to be in that secret project that James Gunn is working on. It might not be Batman and Superman World's Finest, but there could be a cameo similar to Supergirl at the end of that reveals Batman into the world, or maybe one of these other projects. So I did find that fascinating, that Brave the Bold might not be when we first see him. Hopefully it's not in some sort of animated project or Peacemaker. Please don't let it. I like Peacemaker. And even, I guess since I'm on that note, he gave another detail about Peacemaker with the pocket dimension stuff, which I was like, oh, okay. So these pocket dimensions going to be something important. Let me see here if I can. Yeah, here he says, according to James Gunn, the idea of pocket universes is fundamental to what will be told in DCU. Yes, absolutely it is. You'll see in Peacemaker Season 2, it's just Lex's version is much jankier than the one in Peacemaker. The one Peacemaker works better. What the whole season of Peacemaker revolves around is that I think Peacemaker, as a more heightened concept story about one other world, it's more akin to Philip Roth's The Country Life than it is Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay, good to know about that. So it's not gonna be used to just do multiverse jumping introduction stuff like that, like No Way Home. It's actually gonna be at a crucial plot point, this pocket universe stuff. And remember, Peacemaker is setting up our bigger DCU event that we're supposed to be filled in on. So that'll be interesting. Okay, aside from that, the other thing was Wonder Woman. He gave a small update to Wonder Woman. We know that recently that's been fast-tracked and that we're gonna be moving forward. Oh my goodness, hopefully I don't scroll across some really inappropriate stuff. But Wonder Woman, let's see if I can find the actual quote. I guess it'll have to be this here. He mentions what is actually going to be happening in Wonder Woman
on like a Wonder Woman you want or not. So like, are we anywhere on like a Wonder Woman script? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wonder Woman script.
You feel like there's a take, there's a direction.
Yes.
That feels distinct from what we've seen before.
Yeah, very. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm very, very excited about Wonder Woman right now.
Do you anticipate you want or?
That's fascinating to hear. I know Gal Gadot gets a lot of hate, and I'm not gonna lie, she was terrible in that Snow White movie, and honestly, other things I've seen her in. But I felt her certain accent and tone kind of worked for Wonder Woman as this sort of oblivious character, because she spent her whole life on an island. In that first movie, directed by Patty Jenkins, she's going to the real world, so her kind of like acting dumb or not having these social cues completely down, it worked for me because this is clearly a character not of this world. So almost her acting, I felt, benefited that first Wonder Woman movie, and I really liked that first Wonder Woman film. Wonder Woman 84 is a different story, and with that said, though, I think Wonder Woman is still a cool character. There is an appetite for that because that Wonder Woman movie made a lot of money, $800 million, which nowadays Marvel or DC would kill for an $800 million movie, but we're in fatigue times right now with superhero films. So yeah, dude, I would really like to see, and even James Gunn mentioning that it's a new take, it's a fresh spin, so it's not going to be like with Gal Gadot or those other movies where, ooh, what is this film going to look like? I want to see that Wonder Woman film. The other thing was the update on Flash. He does give an update on Flash and Aquaman. Let's see here when we'll get to see them. All right, so in this interview, James Gunn says the DCU likely won't introduce the Flash or Aquaman in the next 2 years, which honestly is expected. I mean, we don't have that very many projects other than Flash and Peacemaker, Green Lantern. These are the projects I can think of in the next 2 years. I wasn't expecting Aquaman or Flash to show up in there, but at least they're on his mind. I definitely think these are characters that need to be in a Justice League movie. When I think of the core characters, it's definitely Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Aquaman, Martian Manhunter, like and a Green Lantern, of course, John Stewart. Those are like my essential 7 you need to have. I like Cyborg. I prefer him as a Teen Titan. Maybe he can lead the Titans or do something there. But those are the 7 core I would want. So yeah, and honestly, it's going to be a while with the Flash, but not that much because he did confirm Gorilla Grodd, which is a Flash villain. James Gunn does have plans. James Gunn said James Gunn has confirmed that he has plans for Gorilla Grodd in the DCU. I love Gorilla Grodd, so I got other plans for that guy. Okay, good to know. We love a good ape pounding his chest and punching a fast dude. I actually would love to see. That's honestly what the first Flash movie should have been. They should not have done the Flashpoint story as the first movie. That's an event you lead up to. Gorilla Grodd, I think, would have been a cool kind of first villain, if not like a Captain Cold or Captain Boomerang. Those kind. I know like Flash has his own version of the Sinister Six. I don't remember the name of that group, but a group like that would have been cool to see go down. So yeah, I like all these updates James Gunn is giving. A lot of interesting, fun stuff. We'll see, obviously, what comes to fruition because, you know, promises are only as good as what they're kept at the end. I throw it off to you. Oh, you see these updates with the DCU? What are you most excited for? What do you think will happen? And your fan casting for some of these characters. Love to hear it down below. Okay, all right. We've got that settled down, my movie peeps. So now it's time to go into your viewer-submitted questions. I think the Reddit would actually be pretty funny to see. So let's actually look at the Reddit for a quick hot second. Or actually, I did see somebody posted, not somebody, my fan who's usually posting the out-of-context videos has posted a part 4. If you want a part 4... let's look at the first 30 seconds and see if I regret it. You pay $40 million for a T-Rex. How much would you pay to clone Hitler? What? This is a spoiler-free review. Now, Dora the Explorer is a lot like McDonald's and porn. I've explained that. It sounds awful. I've explained it. I was saying we have all consumed McDonald's and Dora like we have pornography. We are ashamed to admit it, but we have all consumed. That was the analogy. Please don't cancel Influencer Smurf. This is a big regret already. Peter gave MJ cancer with his sperm. I love the title. Hey, sometimes kissing your cousin's okay. It's Ghost Rider, Luke Cage, Mama Milfy House. Oh, dude, how much is 17 inches? I think I'd watch Girls Gone Wild Volume 4. Don't let me drink alone. Don't let me drink alone. Don't let me drink alone. 2 weeks ago, we were, oh my goodness. Anyway, we're so good. Honey, bring my iPad. First. Lord help this gooner. Lord help this gooner. I want that on my tombstone. I watch these out of context videos and I am baffled at the insanity that comes out of my mouth. Go check out the rest if you want to support. I always thank you for doing this. You don't always have to, but man, it is for a definitely good time. It is for a fun watch. Just remember, it's out of context. And once you know the context, I am forgiven and absolved of any cancellations. All right, let's see what's hot right now. Oh, yeah, I saw Spider-Verse got delayed. I didn't make it a topic in today's live stream because it was literally a few weeks. It's at least still in the same month. So it went from like June 4th to June 25th. Not big of a deal if it was like months or a year. Definitely would be talking about it. But just a couple of weeks, you go ahead, animators. You take your time and you deliver peak. I'm never watching 3C stream on my TV again. My dad walked in. Thanks, Chris. I'm so sorry. It's a canon event, though. We've all been through a situation like that where we're watching something slightly innocent and slightly okay, and then mom, dad got to walk in at the wrong time. Be like, can you knock? Can you walk louder, mama? Stomp when you walk, please. Buying the fan. Oh. Papa might already have his. You'll see in the Fantastic Four. Oh my goodness. I actually look pretty much like them. Like just as shiny as them. Why you got my eyes rolling back like that though? What is this? What is this? Who was the man's source? This was 4 months ago before the poster and teaser. Okay.
A couple of bullet points. You ready? It says, the tagline for the film is look up. Interesting. So that's the tagline. Usually the thing they put at the end or on the trailer or in the poster. Right? Superman, look up. Interesting. The music used in the trailer is a rock version of the original Superman theme from 1978. I didn't think James Gunn would use the theme from Christopher Reeves' movie.
Hey, I give you the credible information. I have never been wrong a day in my life. Don't look up 3C Films Venom 3 leaks. Those were accurate. They were not. I apologize. That's what made me give up the scoop game. That's cool that this ended up being real. I like that you made that. Thank you. Look at that. I was on. This was 4 months before the movie. Let me see one more.
But that's one of the reasons where I was like, I don't know if this is real then. The trailer opens with Superman crashing in the Arctic. It says here, Lois and Clark share an intimate moment in the Daily Planet building, with Lois saying how she's a punk rock girl from the city.
I was just some punk rock kid from Baker Line.
Yo, what? I don't even know who that source was. I gotta find them again. I source locked in. They gave me the whole enchilada, and I was just spilling it on a random live stream. That should have been a full video. Should have been a full video. Thank you for making that. The meme potato. Oh yeah, this was my first reaction to that Fix trailer. This is what my face looked like the minute I saw Doggy Booty Hole. I'm so hell. Oh God. Oh my God. I'm getting canceled. I'm getting canceled. This is. She said she was 12. I shouldn't joke around about that. That stuff actually happens. Chris, where are you? The sandwich is calling out. Oh, tell Mike I want him to smurf in it. Tell Mike that I want it all over my Gargamels. Why the hell did Papa Smurf not on Chris's face? Just joking. Please don't ban me. I won't ban you. Little far, but it's so shiny. I hate that this paint is so shiny. It reflects the lights on my desktop so much. Yeah, the Aura Farmer. I was gonna have a section of Aura farming in my BVS reviews, but it kept getting copies. With the music I wanted to use with the moments kept getting copyrighted, but I was gonna have a Aura moments from Henry Cavill. I still like his version. Oh, Influencer Smurf showed at the Willy Wonka factory. I didn't eat your Smurf berries. The Smurf berries ate me. They released a Fantastic Four album. Okay, well, I can't listen to that then. Oh, jeez. But pretty cool. I will listen to it later. Just a normal day during a 3C live stream. Forgive me. What? Okay, well, not even gonna address something like that. I prefer the real Raven. I said the real Raven. Perfect. That face, that's a good face. I am the real Raven. I only said the new Superman is better than Superman. Oh my goodness. Who is doing all that? Hopefully not in my chat. You're allowed to say things. There's no truth. It's fine. As long as it's a fresh opinion. We did go through those reactions. He reminds me of someone. Oh my goodness. Who? Smurf. Hi. I gotta stop. Enough. Y'all are pushing me. You're encouraging. You're complacent. Adolf Smurf. Hi. I didn't. This was funny. We talked about Jojo Rabbit today. this was my thumbnail for the Jojo Rabbit review. And I think I ended up removing that video because I didn't think it was crazy. This was also like like 5 years ago now, when the world wasn't as crazy and cancelable for any little thing. I thought drawing a little Hitler stash was like, all right, it's a movie about Hitler. The director is dressed like Hitler. I'm just having some fun. Years later, it came back to bite me. So I had it removed. Cancel him. Saying the words, we're all gonna suck your balls. Saying the words, we're all gonna. What do we think this is? That would be lightning, buddy. Whenever oxygen, hydrogen, and nitrogen combine in the clouds, just made up those elements. We talked about those reactions. Spot the difference. Oh! Good stuff, Steven. You good to go? Bro definitely has 10 Smurf bytes of smurfing on his hard drive. Not funny. What is the chat saying during all this? Blue! What the F? Daddy Goon on. Oh my goodness. I gotta turn off that chat. Bro thinks he's part of the Blue Man group. That's crazy. Sinners. Oh, I'm Sinners. I really did like Superman, but Sinners I think is still the best movie so far. 3C news on FNAF 2. Well, they're going to San Diego Comic-Con, and we'll definitely get an update there and probably some cool stuff. I'll think about reviewing Bad Guys 2. I still need to see the first one.
Yeah, let me get him.
All right. That's some good stuff. I definitely need to smurf onto these Smurfing Super Chats. Good stuff. Michael Tomsick says, "Can you react to one?" Yes, I just did. It was pretty epic. It was pretty epic. Noel Jackson says, "Thoughts on the live action My Little Pony movie now in the works, and do you think it's going to be a disaster?" You know, I don't know how many of the younger people remember, but My Little Pony had like a huge explosion, and there was these things called bronies, where it was like male viewers of My Little Pony that were like in love with the show, and not for any dirty sexual reasons. I actually knew a brony in real life, and I was like, so is it like, did a kinky thing was why y'all like this? He's like, no, the story's just actually good. I was like, okay. I haven't heard much about bronies in a while, but cool that they're getting a live action movie. We'll see if it's any good. Jason Voorhees is a sellout. Jason, too many commercials of Apple or Orchid or Orchid, whatever it is. Really wish you were here, says Fantastic Four reactions and Punisher filming. Yes, Punisher has started filming. I've seen some of those set photos. I don't think none of the set photos have been stuff too intriguing. I think there was just one of like Frank Castle just with a beard and a zip-up hoodie, and he's got like a scar on his chest. Waiting for maybe something more intriguing or hopefully a new suit. That would be cool. But yeah, we did look at the Fantastic Four reactions. The Pick Mini person says, what do 12, 19, 25 and the 2008 Kids' Choice Awards have in common? SpongeBob losing to Avatar. Funny enough, they played a SpongeBob episode right before my screening of Smurfs. I don't know what that tells you. Alexis Aguilar says, did you get the Odyssey IMAX tickets? I got 2 tickets to the Chinese theater on premiere day, and what did you... No, dude, they sold out like instantly. As soon as I found out about them, because I didn't even know they were like being released. I found out about them like 30 minutes later. I go to click on my local IMAX theaters, sold out. But it's not that big of a deal, because like, although they're sold out for that day, when the time gets closer, there's going to be multiple showings. It was only like a 7 o'clock showing. I'm like, there's going to be multiple showings, and I'm going to have plenty of chances. And either way, I'll most likely get a press screening invite to an IMAX showing, so I'll be okay. But it's like, dude, only Christopher Nolan has that aura. Tickets a whole year out. Snow Jackson says, thoughts on the Flash and Aquaman won't appear in the DCU for at least the next 2 years. Do you think this is a smart move? Yes, it is a smart move. The Flash and Aquaman are the most recently used characters in the old universe. We had Aquaman the Lost Kingdom and Ezra Miller's The Flash. I think you have to give it some time and room to breathe. It's kind of been a minute with Wonder Woman, so I think that's why he's fast-tracking that. But give some space with Aquaman and Flash, and yeah, I think James Gunn is smart for doing that. Karate Kick 4D says, can't wait for the FNAF 2 in theaters. I hope this movie is good or better, so I can say this year was FNAF's greatest year. Yeah, I know the video games have been pretty enjoyed by fans, so it would be nice if the movie is also stellar. Coast Fallen says, DREDD movie without Carl Urban be sacrilegious. I know, he should have gotten a sequel or at least a whole trilogy. That movie was really good, and kudos to him for being an actor that didn't want to show his face. He actually stuck to the character and let his face be covered the entire time. A lot of actors, their egos would not let them do that, so good on Carl Urban. Oi! Global Gobbler Smurf over here. There is a Smurf hanging there. Oh, I think there's a Smurf hanging there. Jake Paul or Logan Paul, whatever. One of the Pauls. Gatalian says, Mr. Smurf, please give a shout out to my fiance, Randy. Well, Randy, the fiance, I hope y'all have a smurfing good marriage. Don't smurf it up. P says, Beyond the Spider-Verse delayed again. Yeah, I saw Beyond the Spider-Verse, but it's only a few weeks. I'm okay with that. If it was months or whole year, I would have been kind of sad about that. Alex the Great says, will there be a 2000? Yes. In fact, I just finished watching the first one last night. I'm hoping tonight I have the energy to watch the second one and then Fan 4 Stick tomorrow morning. That way I can review those, send them to Reed, the editor of the channel, and have those out for you next week. But yes, I do plan to, and I hope they don't end up like the Wolverine review. DJ Sheher says, Influencer Smurf isn't in the film anymore. I know! I was like, oh, they've erased me! All my hard work and influencer jokes you could have had. He's completely gone from the movie. Dark Forest says, pick Batman highway chases or Batman bridge scenes. Ooh. So if you're talking about the Batman scene with Matt Reeves where he's after the Penguin, which is a pretty badass moment, or Superman the bridge scene, which it's hard, dude, because I got an emotional response from the Superman bridge scene when that lady drives away, tears in her eyes, looks back, and Superman just emerges from the smoke and the music swells. That actually gave me like chills and feelings, and I was like almost getting teary-eyed just from how great Superman looked. The Batman scene didn't elicit an emotional reaction, but I was like, dude, this is a freaking badass Batman. So I think I might have to say the Superman scene. I might have to go with the Superman scene, but that might be a recency bias. But that Batman chase scene was really good. Mario says, since the DCU is officially here, what Flash storyline would you choose for a next movie? A Gorilla Grodd story, I think, would be it. I think you actually also have to lead into a Yellow Flash, Reverse Flash story. You know, that would be a way to also differentiate from Ezra Miller's. I know James Gunn's like, I don't think we should do origin movies. I think you should definitely do one for like Flash. They kind of did one in his recent movie, but it wasn't really, it was obviously done well, but I wouldn't mind it be the more focused, and this time like Reverse Flash is more responsible for it. What's up, Diddy Smurf and Tooth Fairy 3C lore? I don't have very much Tooth Fairy lore. I do remember putting my tooth under my pillow and I'd get like $5. I got $10 once. I don't have anything crazy. I don't even know if I thought the Tooth Fairy was real. I would just know I got money under that pillow. Okay, I do remember one time I lost a tooth. I didn't tell my parents about it. Put it under my pillow, and there was nothing the next morning. I didn't think that meant that the Tooth Fairy wasn't real. I just was like, oh, she must have been busy that night. I'll try again. I do remember that though. Peyton Rock says, am I allowed to talk about spoilers for I Know What You Did Last Summer? No spoilers right now. I will be posting my spoiler review tomorrow. So, I actually really enjoyed the movie. I even made a review on my YouTube channel. Oh, cool, guys, check that out. Because of you and you're my inspiration. Awesome, Peyton. Yeah, but no spoilers for I Know What You Did Last Summer. I'll post that spoiler review tomorrow, though. King Daddy Goat says, looking like old dude from Big Fat Liar, Chris. I love Big Fat Liar, and I do know what you're talking about. Marty Wolf, Paul Giamatti. Great movie. I'm blue. I love Big Fat Liar. It's one of my childhood favorite movies, that movie. I'm trying to think of like some of the famous lines from that, but no. I love Big Fat Liar. Mark BM says, predictions on Fantastic Four ending. Greetings from BK. Oh, you're from Burger King. Nice, dude. Fantastic Four ending. I do think they're gonna, like, the world ends and then they have to go to the MCU, or like they know that's the next planet on the list or something like that. I feel like it has to be like that. But we'll see. We'll see. Alex the Great 07 AV says, do you think Universal Pictures will win in 2026? What are the Universal movies in 2026? I don't want to look up all the other ones, but just judging off the ones I see, dang, I want to itch my face, but I can't right now. It's all the paint rubs off on my hands. Let's see what their 2026 movies are. All right, so let's see some of their big ones. So they're gonna have Fast X Part. Oh no, they just have 2 movies, unless you're counting Shrek. So they just have Michael Jackson Part 1, most likely what it's gonna end up being, and Shrek 5. They're gonna have a good splash with those 2 movies. But look at that! Look how much blue just came on my fingers from scratching me. The problems of being blue. They're gonna have a good run with those 2 movies, but I don't think that'll mean they'll win. They'll need a little bit more than that. Need a little bit more than that. If we get FNAF 3, maybe. Ella G says, have you watched Shin Godzilla? No, I actually haven't seen Shin Godzilla. I am curious to watch it and check it out, but dude, the bucket list of movies I need to watch and catch up on. People got mad at me for watching Smurfs when I should have watched F1. It is true. It is true. I'm blue, bada bee da bada bada bee. Jadon Sarah says, how much of Woman of Tomorrow do you think the movie is going to adapt? Is it beat for beat or more the idea? I think it'll be close to the big moments, but basically the idea, the thing that she's on this planet just trying to get drunk. She encounters a girl who needs help, decides to, then the thing with crypto and the people. There's like, okay, I guess I'm involved now. Then a space adventure. I think the part where it's the adventure to get to the guy will be the most different part, and that's where we'll get things like Lobo, other planets, or beings and things like that. That's where it'll take some liberties, but I think it will hit most of the major beats. Snow L. Jackson says, Beyond the Spider-Verse was delayed. Yeah, just a couple weeks, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it, as long as it's not months or years. DJ She-Her says, PBS got defunded. The world we live in today, man. The world we live in today. Lewis Clark says, hi, Chris. Just finished doing my 3-day art masterclass. While I didn't do a portrait of you, sorry, that's okay. But I am thinking of that idea, and the class was really fun. Hey, man, nice to hear your life updates. I appreciate that. I don't think I can say that, but go back to Gargamel, you blue. This close, buddy. I appreciate the humor, but sometimes taking it too far. I'll let it slide this time, buddy. I'll let it slide this time. Jaden Griffin says, almost Spook Your Mama month. What your plans this year? I have a couple of things I already bought. I mentioned on the previous live stream that if you go right now to some of your like home stores, they already have Halloween stuff. And I'm like, what? It's already time? So I actually already filmed some things and have bought some stuff for the studio, but I still need an idea for the overall theme. I don't know what the theme this year is going to be. We have here, Retro Lover says, I blame the Joker for literally killing talk shows. He did kill one of them. A very good host. I don't see none of Mario. Someone in the chat saying that there's a Mario movie 2 leak. Let's see if that's true. I don't see nothing. I don't see nothing, buddy. It looks like you're full of lies. And you know what happens to people that are full of lies? They turn blue like me. Sorry, buddy. Not real. It says here, LJ says, why does Cavill's Superman aura farms before saving people? Like the court scene or when he just floats with a person, raises their hand. I'm good. I don't know. And like Zach is just, I love a lot of Zach's visual cues, but he sometimes gets so caught up into that aura, that painting come to life, that it does mess with the story a little bit. I mean, David Cornsweat aura farms also in James Gunn's, but he does it after having saved somebody, after having beaten Ultraman. Like, he will do the aura farm there, not during or before it, you know? But Zach just loves kind of like that visual look. Eduardo Lopez says, I just hit the left side of the door of my car. Ooh, you know what? I had to get a new car recently, and it has one of those doors like the Tesla door. It's not a Tesla. I didn't get a Tesla, but it's like the Tesla doors where they open where it's like the little thing that comes like this. And I was in my garage, and the car key was in my pocket. And whenever you have the car key, and the door will open, or like the unlock and do that. So I was walking to my garage trying to get to something, and I threw right on my hip, right into that door handle, and I audibly went, "Oh, what the shit!" Oh, I was so mad. It was like one of those dad moments where you step on a Lego or something. I'm glad I was alone in my garage, but I was a little baby when that hit me. I was like, "Ugh!" So I feel your pain, dude. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. All right. It's an electric Cadillac. That's what I got, if y'all were curious. Not that it matters. I'm trying the electric circuit out. It's been nice, but I've been having issues with the people installing the charger in my garage. It's been nonstop issues. And don't know why I'm telling you this. I just letting you into my life. Not a flex, not rich. This is why I shouldn't have said anything. I'm done with y'all. It's a lease, so don't think I'm doing all that either. So it's like Jim Carrey in Fun with Dick and Jane when he sees with the Mercedes. It's a lease. It's a lease. I'm just trying it out. I wasn't ready to commit. Zill Universe says, I still do like Superman, but I feel like it's overhyped. I don't know if it's overhyped. I feel like I've seen a good enough amount of criticisms and people loving it. But I get you. I get you. There's been a lot of talk about it. Retro Lover 03 says, the only best part of Smurf is SpongeBob short. Yeah, honestly, even that SpongeBob short I wasn't a fan of. The whole premise of the short is SpongeBob is dinging that bell, when order up, ding. The whole short is SpongeBob just dinging that bell, and I don't like repetitive, annoying sounds like that too much. It was just ding, 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 ding. Too much of that bell ringing. TJ said, looked up writer for Mortal Kombat. It's concerning. I believe he is the writer of Moon Knight. Wasn't the craziest fan, but I think it is kind of a step up from the previous writer. And I don't know, the trailer looked fun. I feel like it could be fun. Yo, Chris was able, let's see here. It says here, yo, Chris was able to land a GoFundMe screening for Fantastic Four, but I panicked, gotta press for 2 in case my friends want to go. If he can't go, am I screwed? Oh, no, no, but they won't let you collect the pass or your entry in unless he's physically there. That's something that a lot of people do at those things is they're like, oh, my friend's in the bathroom or my friend's in the parking lot. They won't let you. They'll let you in because you're there, but you have to sacrifice your friend not being there. So just make sure your friend is there when you're checking in. You can't be like, oh, my friend's coming. Can I save his spot? They're not going to let you do that. Wino408 says, have you seen Pizza Panic Party? I have not seen Pizza Panic Party. It's a horror short film. I have not seen it. I'll look it up another time, buddy. You Cavill should have been Ultraman. I see a lot of people say that, and I'm seeing it everywhere. Cavill should have been Ultraman. Henry Cavill should be General Zod. That's that same MCU cameo nostalgia, not even nostalgia, but just cameo reference face thing. I don't want DCU to fall into that stuff already. I would love Henry Cavill to come into the DCU as any character worthy of him. But as Ultraman and all that, it just feels like an easy way to be like, oh, it's Gunn versus Snyder. I like this. Karate Kick 4D says, so we went from K-pop Demon Hunters to fixed. Sony, bro. I know. I still got to see K-pop Demon Hunters. You guys were hyping that up. Huge Jazz says, you're just giving 3C out of context more ammo. Oh, dude, I sure am, unfortunately. TV Custom sends in some love. Thank you so much. Blue Man Group or Smurfs? Both. Blue Man in the mornings. I'm Smurfing at night. Mario says Cholo Smurf. Oh, I don't want to put it down because it'll. Okay. No, because it'll get covered in paint. But oh, maybe I can do it actually. Yo, Holmes. Cholo Smurf here. You coming to my barbecue later? Grilling the fajitas, fool. Just bring out the Coronas. Okay, fool. I got that salsa music. My vieja over there, she make a good guacamole. Reminder, I'm allowed to do that because I'm actually a Smurf. Carter the Movie Boy says, when is your Together review gonna be? I do gotta review that. I don't know if I should rewatch the movie because it has been a while. Like, Neon sent me out there for some time, but I don't know. I'll see. I hope to see ya at Halloween Horror Nights this year. You probably will with all the announcements they've made. You probably will. Check out the Purge TV show. It has a bank heist. I watched the first like 4 or 3 episodes, and I just wasn't into it. I thought it wasn't really doing much for me. But hey, good to know it had a bank heist. Alexis Aguilar says, look at the first reviews of the new Demon Slayer movie. I'm not even a Demon Slayer fan. It's not that I don't want to be. I definitely want to. It's just I haven't peeped into that. So even looking at those reviews, I wouldn't know what to make of them. If they're great, that's awesome. Happy for the Demon Slayer fans, but that's a franchise I need to hop onto one day when I have free time. Owen Ecker says, this gives me Mega Man rules review flashbacks. Sure does. Stan's Alley is the best trailer of 2025. Oh, Satan's Alley? Oh, okay. I gotta look that up. I've never heard of Satan's Alley. Snow L. Jackson says, do you think Netflix is secretly building a Squid Games universe like Marvel? No. I think they're going to do the American version. If that goes well, I think they'd be open to like a Mexico version or like, I don't know, a UK version. And it could work because you could play on, you know, games that those countries played and grew up with. And it'd be fun as someone maybe not from those countries to see like, oh, Mexico, they played that. That's cool. Oh, or like the UK, I should have said, because I am from Mexico. But, yeah, I think they're just waiting to see how US Squid Games goes. David the Mamba says 3C, a Dragon Ball Z movie would be too hard because the sagas are too long for one movie. How would you do Z? Amazon series would make it. I mean, I would love a series, of course, but movie-wise, I think you just start off with the Saiyan saga. You start off with it's hard to do, but it's like maybe there's something you can do in the Star Wars way where it's all the established universe. This is already a thing, but I think you start off with Raditz coming in, taking Gohan, Piccolo forming an alliance, and then leading up to a battle with Goku, Vegeta, and Nappa. And that leads us into the next movie, which would be Frieza and Namek and all that, and then you do Cell Saga. I think you can make it work, but I think you start there. Top 5 TV series pilots. Ooh, I don't know. Breaking Bad is definitely one of them. I wish I was more knowledgeable, but I know the Breaking Bad one like hooked me in right away. I wish I had a better answer for you there, buddy. I do like the show Poker Face. That was great. Top 5 series finales. Ooh, Breaking Bad. I did like the way Breaking Bad ended. Better Call Saul also had a very satisfying ending and good closure to the entirety of the series. I'm not going to say Squid Game Season 3 because Squid Game Season 3 did leave me disappointed. I'm trying to think of like, I don't know. Did WandaVision actually have a good... Well, Loki, yes, you're right. Loki did have a good finale. Cobra Kai, yes. Cobra Kai is up there. Even in all its cheesiness and kind of hokey stuff, the Cobra Kai finale had me happy. People said Dexter. I've heard the Dexter one is worse, and I still need to finish that. Those are the ones I will say for right now. I'm trying to think of other ones, but I can't come to mind. Lewis Kirk says Taika Waititi has new film Clar and the Sun coming out, hoping that would be good. Oh, you're right, and I think that's based off a book. I'm gonna be curious about that. Okay, that'll determine my hype then for Judge Dredd. Go Man Bloop. Okay. Cinegeek says that face is fantastic. Say that again. Say that again. The lost member of the Blue Man Group, the fired member. I could never catch the marshmallows when they throw them. That always amazes me. I'm like, there's got to be a trick or a hologram to that. I've seen the Blue Man Group twice. They've done the same routine since I was a kid into now in adulthood. But whenever they do the throwing the marshmallows or the balls in the mouth, I'm stunned. They never miss. It's always hop, hop, hop. Where did they go? It must be a trick. It must be a trick. Snow L. Jackson says Chris Hemsworth as DCU Aquaman. I'm think Chris Hemsworth is happy with Thor. I don't think he wants to move on to other things like that. Archive says would love a Superman and Supergirl movie together. I so agree. I would too, my friend. Adventures with Parker and Dad. Do you think there will be another I Know We Did Last Summer movie? I don't think so. With the bad reviews, and it's not going to have the greatest box office, I just don't think so. And even if it did, I don't think there's going to be much of an audience because this recent movie, although it's made for the fans, there's things in there that are going to alienate the fans, and it didn't do much for newcomers. Isaiah says, what do you think about Brandon Sklenar's Batman? I do like the actor. I guess if he gets chosen, it's fine, but he wouldn't be like even my top 3 choice. But he's fine. From what I've seen him in like This Ends With Us or that movie, what was it, Drop? He's fine. He's fine. Adventures with Parker and Dad said, Influencer Smurf versus Hefty Smirk. Could you kick his Smurf? I'd Smurf him up. LJ says, Superman movie was Superman. Say that again. Sebastian Gonzalez says, I love you. I don't give money, but Christ, you are a Smurf, and I gotta give you money because this is absurdity beyond my imagination. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Reed, the channel editor, says, do you have a safe search on when you Google? I do have a safe search on when I Google. Yes, I do. But even sometimes it has slipped up in the past. Even that I have a safe search on Twitter, and I have a safe search on Google, and there have been times where it has slipped up on me. Don't search up. Whenever I searched up I just searched up Chica, or I think Toy Chica, craziness folded. I looked up Sydney Sweeney on Twitter, craziness unfolded, and that's what safe search is on. How tall are you, Chris? David Cornsweat was mogging. Oh, dude, yes, of course he was mogging. It's freaking David Cornsweat. I was on my knees on that photo with David Cornsweat. Didn't want to, outshine the Man of Steel. But I think, if you had to measure my height there, 5'7", same height as Tom Cruise. I can mog Tom Cruise. That old foo. Just kidding. Invincible News says, thoughts to bring Bloodsport back to the DCU. I wouldn't mind it. I think it'd be cool. I like Idris Elba. And I wonder if they'd make canon that story that he shot Superman with a kryptonite bullet. So I wouldn't mind it. King Dada says, Blueface gotta be a racial thing. Oh my God, please don't. Please don't be a racial thing in the future. Please don't. A Love Angel says, you should consider sporting a Ryan Tron fund for St. Jude. He's doing a series going on 50 states in 50 days. Oh, okay. I'll look into that. Ryan Trahans. Okay, I'll look into that. Thank you for that, buddy. Reed Jackson says, what got claimed in the Superman reviews? Oh, no, not you, Reed. I was working on it. Not you, Reed. You didn't do anything to claim. I said on my own, I was trying to put together an aura farm of Superman just kind of like standing there. And I had this music from TikTok that goes with like all these chat edits from guys in the gym. But I guess it's a real song, so it kept getting copyrighted. It wasn't you. It was something I was trying to do, Reed. But no, you did great. No copyrights on Superman reviews. The gaming effort says the stream is going to be shut down in 2 minutes at this rate. Oh, man, we still here, but I know as soon as I'm done, Netflix YouTube gonna call me and say we're never letting you smurf anything again. 3C, stop smurfing your pants. It's a problem. Can't help it. Lionheart says, what are your experiences? Or you mean expectations for Doomsday and/or Secret Wars? Any specific cameos you want? I just want Toby and Hugh Jackman. Because those were my superheroes growing up, right? It was Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, and Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man movies. If they somehow team up, even alongside, Thomas Jane Punisher, ooh, that would be. Or I would love Ben Affleck Daredevil in there. I know that's asking for too. All right, at least Ghost Rider, Nicolas Cage. But if I had to pick, it's Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman. Together review when? Will probably be like in the week or two, I think. Maybe this weekend. Oh, week or two, I think, yeah. John Fyuk says, what are your thoughts on Doomsday and Dune 3 both releasing on the same day? I think it's kind of crazy we're getting 2 hype films on the same. Are they actually releasing the same day? Well, then that's just further proof to me Doomsday is going to move and take the following day. We'll see. If they're on the same day, that is kind of crazy. I feel bad for Dune, though. It always gets outshined. John Sheila says, Chris, please, would you retire using and/or referencing the 2004 Fantastic line at the end of the new film comes out? I don't mean to be rude, but it's getting annoying. I will probably put it on rest after that. I think it's just the build-up to the movie, but get ready for it to be used a lot more this coming week with the Fantastic review, the vlog, probably the reviews of the older movies. It's about to get overloaded, but it probably will be. Like any good joke, You gotta let it die down. So if we ever bring it back, it can have a hype moment. Lapis Nigel sends in some support. Thank you. Thoughts on Gamma Jack? Oh, I did see that with The Incredibles. I think I saw a friend of mine's, Dylan Stark, on TikTok. Great guy. He posted a video about like this hidden character in Incredibles that is like the Homelander of the Incredibles universe, and there's a whole backstory and fictional. And well, I don't want to say fictional, but there's a whole backstory and things that fans are making a part of this character. It's kind of funny. It'd be funny if they somehow bring Gamma Jack back. DJ Sheher says Tron Ares trailer. I honestly thought that new trailer was hyped. It came out the same day as the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer, so I didn't like talk about it or really think about it. But that new trailer was actually pretty cool. Got me interested in the movie. I like the idea of them using the Tron AIs as like soldiers and implicating them. It also looks so beautiful. So many red lights. But that Tron trailer was cool. You're not reviewing the 90s? Probably not, honestly. It's more of a time thing. So I really only have time to check out the other 3 movies. But I know maybe one day in the future. Mama Nations 42 says, what villain of the week do you think James Gunn is going to transform like the Spot on the At the Spider-Verse? Also, Spider-Man 2 is coming back to theaters. Mr. Mixinplix, probably that dimensional being that's like orange and purple, clothing wise. I could see him probably doing that. That seems like a James Gunn character. Steven Campos sends in some love. Thank you so much. Blake Dalton, have you seen the new Dexter? I have not seen. Oh, I'm so behind on Dexter. I'm like on season 6 of the original show. I'm trying to finish it. I know I get caught up with other things. I can't finish Dexter when I need to paint myself blue for you, okay? But I still need to finish Dexter. Then I need to finish. Then I need to watch, what was it? New Blood. Then I need to hop on Resurrection. But from what I'm hearing, Resurrection is pretty cool, so it's worth it. But yeah, I've not seen the new Dexter yet. Mike Watson says, am I allowed to ask for a TikTok follow one day? Well, do you earn it, Mike? I don't just follow anybody on there, buddy. You posting some content, shaking that booty? If you are, Mike, I'd consider it. Spicy Chica says, I can scratch your nose, Papa Chris. Oh, please, Chica, you can scratch anything. Matt says, what's your favorite Batman moment? Mine's is warehouse scene. Well, if we're talking Snyder's Batman, the warehouse scene for sure. Overall, oh man, that's a toughie. I mean, I really like a lot of what Matt Reeves has done with them. We were just talking about that highway chase scene. I thought was really cool. I also like the final sequence in the stadium where he's going after all of Riddler's goons. But like all time, dang, dude, that's hard. And I'm even thinking about some sequences in The Flash, dude. Michael Keaton got some pretty cool moments where he got to Aura Farm as well. Michael Keaton was pretty badass too. Batman spying on Catwoman was my favorite part. That's crazy. I guess I'll go with the highway chase scene just to be different, but that warehouse scene is pretty peak. Hey 3C, I'm going to Dallas soon. Can you recommend some good places to eat? What's your favorite animated DC films? If you go anywhere, Babe's Chicken House. It's a home style country cooking. Babe's Chicken House. Just order the chicken fingers if you like chicken fingers. They are tasty. It's also all you can eat sides. So they bring you corn, mash, gravy, green beans. Oh, dude. I love Babe's Chicken House. There's a couple of them around Dallas, so you should be able to find one. The Gaming Effort says, what's your favorite Adult Swim show? Ooh. I tried getting into Aqua Teen Hunger Force, that show with like the fries and the meatball. Sometimes it would just creep me the heck out though. What's another Adult Swim show? Honestly, I wasn't allowed to watch that much Adult Swim. So like the adult what are some? Oh, Robot Chicken. Yes, Robot Chicken. Robot Chicken is my favorite. I love Robot Chicken. Is it still going on to this day? Back when I got my first iPod Touch, which was like 2000, like 2007, 2006, when I got my first iPod Touch, the first things I was downloading on that iPod Touch was episodes of Robot Chicken and then watching them with my friend in the cafeteria. If you're watching right now, paper cut. That always made us laugh. That Robot Chicken sketch, paper cut. So yeah. Mario says you should go with an alien or outer space theme for Spook Your Mama month. Alien or space theme? That's not a bad idea. I'd like to get down with an alien. Mega Will A says the 3C patience is next level. Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you. Try Killer XP says, where do you think the other metahumans were during Superman's showdown? It's a good question. I mean, we could assume that, you know, the Justice Gang was part of the help, so other metahumans just didn't feel the need. Maybe they're still scattered. I mean, you have the Flash in Central City, so unless that rift that Luthor was opening was going to hit Central City, he wasn't going to do anything. Aquaman is just protecting his sea, so he's like, it's not my problem. That's the land. Batman is in Gotham and was probably like on standby, ready to help, but they had it handled. So I think there's some excuses, but I think there was also enough other heroes there where it's like, I don't know if you need all that much mention. Jerry Ramey says, just saw Superman, David, Rachel, Eddie, and were dang good. The scenes where Lex uses the gun and Superman got emotional. Dude, that's a great scene. I love that scene. Speedercraft says, Chris, what's your prediction for Superman box office? I think it's going to end like at the 550, close to 600, but probably not hitting it. I think 550 is going to be my prediction. I'm going to be I'm looking at all the predictions I had at the beginning of the year. Oh, dude, I'm never doing that again. I was so off on everything. It's embarrassing. Sammy Heyman says, I rewatched Superman. I went from 5.5 to an 8. My issues with the jokes ruining serious moments were gone. Second time, my crowd laughing made them look worse. Superman is a lot better on rewatch. You don't focus in on so many of the negatives or things going on. The pacing feels a little more connected. And now that you know what to expect, you can kind of just enjoy the ride, and I do think Superman is very rewatchable for that aspect. Unauthorized says, seen Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I actually have seen episodes. I do like it, and I'd be down to finish it someday. I think that's so great that there's a generation of kids that have Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes as their Justice League Unlimited series, kind of like I did growing up, because that was my superhero show, is Justice League Unlimited. So Earth's Mightiest Heroes, from what I have seen, I really liked it. I think I got like up to season 2 or something. It was pretty good. It's pretty good for like a kid's, superhero show. But I thought it handled some of the drama and introduction of characters good. The Ram Godly, what is your favorite 90s horror icon besides Freddy? Oh, well, Freddy Krueger is definitely one. If Scream with Ghostface. If we're talking about other 90s icon, what am I thinking of? Like Jay and Silent Bob. I was never a big Jay and Silent Bob guy, even though I like Kevin Smith. Not the Cheech and Chun, but that's probably the 70s too. I think those are gonna be it for me. I do like the first Sleepaway Camp. The first Sleepaway Camp haunted me with that ending. Ryan Porter sends in some love. Thank you. Aiden Cruz says, Beyond the Spider-Verse delayed it. Yeah, we talked about it, but it's just a few weeks, at least in the same month. I'm okay with that. Jaden Voss says, so excited for the 18-minute extended cut of Spider-Man 2 in September. It's been out there for a while. You can watch it at any time. I don't think it really brings anything to the movie. If anything, it's pretty understandable why those 18 minutes were cut. But hey, any love for Spider-Man 2 is a good day. Unauthorized says, you got my hopes up when you had on that Ben 10 shirt inside flick. He deserves more content. The franchise is worth it. Yeah, maybe one day I can review the live-action Ben 10 movies. I wouldn't mind revisiting those. But, dude, Ben 10 needs a live-action movie. It's so funny how Warner Bros. Doesn't realize the gold they're sitting on with that. It was like their most popular show that they rebooted like 4 or 5 times because it was that popular. So make a movie with a big budget. Going hero, or it's hero time, whatever he says. Trixo says, did you know that was King Jared Shao Kahn was killing? Yeah, I said it in my trailer breakdown. I said that's King Jared. Did you not watch my trailer breakdown? Come on, buddy. My trailer breakdown was trending on the gaming tab for YouTube. I was so proud of that. Thank you, YouTube. Danny says, Chris, where's the old... Oh, they're being worked on. I promise, Danny. They're being worked on. I promise. They'll get to you, and they'll be fantastic. Black Apple Film says, Chris, I love you. You are the GOAT. Meh. Thank you for that. Josie says, what role would you cast Henry Cavill in the DCU? That's hard to say. No Superman-related role. You just can't. It's too fan service. It's too cliche. It's too pointing the finger of, hey, look what we're doing, guys. No Superman related role. It's got to be its own character, a separate thing. I don't know, a version of a Green Lantern. I'm trying to think. It's like I want to give him something worthy, but there'll never be anything as big as what Superman was. That's like the character. So anything will be lesser than, and he's not going to be able to be Batman. So Henry Cavill for human target. What? Catman would be crazy. I doubt he'd want Catman. I wonder if he could pull off Booster Gold. Probably not, but I wonder. I don't know. It's really not for me to say, but anything that's not a Superman character. Jonathan says, could Rick Moranis come back and act in the next Ghostbusters since he's going to come back? No, he's been out of retirement when the last 2 Ghostbuster movies were out, and there were reports that they offered him a role and stuff, but he didn't want to take it because it was too minor and not worth it. So no, he's not coming back. He's definitely coming back for Spaceballs because he's essentially like one of the main characters of that movie, so he'd have a big role, and it is a fan love project he would want. But I think his days in Ghostbuster are probably done. And then you said, can you say hi to Hannah and Jonathan? Hi, Hannah and Jonathan. Lovely to see you. Tyler Eads says, hey, bro, I was wondering if you can look at my box. It's Tyler Eads. The latest movie I did was Man of Steel. My 7-year-old Miles' B-Day was Wednesday and wanted to know if you could wish him a happy birthday. Well, happy birthday, Miles. Not going to lie to you. That was the name I would have considered for my future child. But then I feel like Miles Morales got too popular, so I decided not to go with Miles. But it is still a killer name, dude. It is still a killer name. I'm looking your letterbox up right now, buddy, and I will check it out after the stream. It's going to be too much of an effort to pull it up right now. Tyler Eads. All right, buddy. Good stuff. Good stuff. Review Bambi. Yeah, I'm definitely going to review Bambi the Reckoning. Still got to look up when that comes out. I'm lost on the release date. TVC Customs. So glad we are covering all these movie news and also horror movies, and you put yourself out there for our entertainment. Hey, man, I'm just a lover of movies. I love to have a good time. I want to entertain y'all, take you away, and let you have some fun for a bit, and hopefully I can do that for you. That's all my goal is, to inform you, but to entertain you as well. Late Night says, what is a movie 50-50 loved, hated movie you know? Well, right now, it's definitely I Know What You Did Last Summer, the latest one, because there's things about it I found fun, and I'm even okay with the twist. But there's other things I'm like, that just was not that well done. Another movie I'm like 50-50 on that I hated but kind of liked. Midsommar. That's a movie where it's like, I do like parts of it, but some of that stuff grosses me out, and it gets a little too weird. So I remember the first time I saw it, I didn't like it at all. I was like, this is just not for me. The second time I watched it, which was like years later, I was like, I'm kind of into this a little more. But that's definitely one. Trying to think of what else. Flight Risk is not 50-50. That's just straight up a 0 with me. Halloween Ends. You know what? Yes, Halloween Ends, Lucas, in the chat right now. I do agree. Because I still stand by it. It's a good Halloween movie. It's a bad Michael Myers movie, and it's a terrible finale for that version of Michael Myers and what they were setting up. But for like the Halloween aesthetic, trying something new, some of the things it was doing, I kind of don't mind it. So yeah, Halloween Ends I do get 50-50 on sometimes. TVC Custom says, so fun to see you check out the main meals and popcorn buckets and costume. You really go all the way for our entertainment. Love y'all. Snowell Jackson says, I enjoyed the series finale of Squid Games. I think Dexter and the Walking Dead finale is the worst. Ooh, interesting. Good to know. I can't wait to see what the Dexter original finale is. Opinion says, not Original Sin, but the original show of Dexter. Can update on Twisted Childhood Universe, please? Well, I know they're still working on the Pooniverse movie. Bambi is next, but I think after Bambi, it's Pooniverse. So that's all we got. Oh, and Pinocchio, dude. Where's Pinocchio? I want to know about Pinocchio. Maybe that's what they're waiting on. That Pinocchio is the one I'm most excited for, even aside from Pooniverse. Big Fat Liar outfit. Hey, Marty Wolf. My bad, Goon Man Bloop. 3C knows how to just please a crowd. Oh, thank you so much for that. Karate Kick 4D says, I never really was into superhero movies, but seeing the hype around Superman, I could really give it a chance. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Just for YouTube, thoughts on F1 movie. I loved it. I want to see it. Trust me, I do. I haven't gotten the chance. A lot of y'all keep bringing it up. Hopefully, within the next couple live streams, I can give you my actual thoughts on F1. But yeah, sorry, guys. Thoughts on Clayface going to a horror. Oh, I love it. That's a great idea. Of any characters, that is a good idea to be a horror film. And I think they're going to do really well with it. Cameron Riley says, buy a Pepsi with this. You know what? It's funny. I'm a Coca-Cola guy, but growing up, my dad loved Pepsi. Maybe that's why I'm more Coca-Cola. Because it was Coca-Cola in the movie theaters that I go to, but at home, my dad loved Pepsi, and he was always drinking Pepsi. But I'm more of a Coca-Cola guy now. Although now, mainly just try to do water. James Gunn needs to build up to a JLA movie slowly. I agree. There should be a build up to it. It shouldn't just be a jump in. The Archive says, should Harley Quinn be recast in the DCU? It depends on Margot Robbie. If Margot Robbie is down and still wants to do it, let her have it. But if you want to go a different way, I'm open to it. She's still the better one, even compared to Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. Snow L. Jackson says, thoughts on Clayface going to be a horror film? I love it. I've answered it. We've said it. On next one. Late Nights. Thoughts on the next 10 years of films and media. Is it all brain rot? Are we cooked? I don't know if we're cooked for the brain rot, or we're definitely cooked with AI. Because we're lead any month, year now. There's going to be a studio that just makes a fully AI movie. And it's going to be such a torn thing in Hollywood. And it's going to suck if it even looks good. Like right now, AI does not. But AI is also getting so scary good at replicating some visual effect shots that it's just going to be so tempting for studios to do a whole movie out of. And that's where I think we're cooked. Lazy Dude N64 says, did you see what's going on with the Odyssey IMAX tickets? I did. It's craziness. I like the hype that Christopher Nolan can bring up, but people shouldn't be that worried. There's going to be plenty of IMAX showings later on. So, but hey, it's just cool that Christopher Nolan could do that. Mike Watson says, only if you enjoy content I make. Mikey Brew 25. Okay, I'm screenshotting that now, Mikey. I'm screenshotting that now. All right. We got most sour and bitter movie theater experience. Oh, that's hard to say. Because it's usually bad movies. It'd be like Jeepers Creepers Reborn. It's very sour and bitter. The first Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Those would probably have to be the ones. Peyton Rugg says, any advice for my YouTube channel? My name is unknown reviewer, not promoter or anything, just there. My advice is YouTube Shorts. Definitely stick towards, aim towards go long form content, but YouTube Shorts, man, that's how they'll find you that audience. So utilize that. I'm just kidding. You are the GOAT. Oh, thank you. Thank you for calling me the YouTube GOAT. And we have Cosmic says, hey, Chris, are you going to Midsummer Scream in Long Beach, California? Probably not, my friend. Got a lot going on, but I'll look into it. Is it something worth going to? Any cool celebrities going? I always do like going to cons because some of y'all really recognize me and it's fun. The Libercan 1NG says, next DCU movie you're looking forward to, Supergirl. I did not think I'd ever be excited for Supergirl. I even rolled my eyes when James Gunn announced it. I was like, seriously, dude, come on, we got to get hyped. But now I am. He was cooking. I should have let him cook. So Supergirl for sure. Supergirl for sure. All right, guys, Influencer Smurf has got to tap out. This paint is starting to run into my eyeballs and they're burning. I got to go wash this off. Please check out the Smurf review whenever it's posted. I did put in a lot of, well, not a lot of fun. Well, it's a review, okay? It's a review where I painted myself blue. So go check it out, all right? Love y'all's faces. More content to come. Have a good night. Y'all are amazing people. Love y'all.